Hey skiers, it's Bob with SkiEssentials.com. Welcome to our 2026 ski test. Got a Fischer Ranger 116 for you today. This ski returns unchanged for 2026, same construction profile and graphics as last year, and this returns as the widest of the Ranger series and clearly the most powder oriented. What I like about the Ranger series is that from narrow to wide, they adjust the construction, the shape, the profile to fit the intended use. A lot of ski companies that have kind of brands within brands like Ranger just kind of make them all the same, just wider. But Fischer does a really nice job at giving each one a very specific characteristic. With this 116, the width is a big one for sure. It is considerably more rocker than the other Rangers. You know, the 108 is kind of the closest one you would compare it to as the second widest. But then with a thinner overall core profile, it manages to be quite flexible as well, really accentuating the playfulness and creativity involved in this ski. It is built with a blend of poplar and beech in this wood core. They do use their shaped TI, their 0.5 millimeter metal layer, and it is really just found in this underfoot zone here. There's not a lot extending into the ski. So first and foremost as binding retention, and then as it extends beyond, it does have a little bit of damping properties, but by and large, this is a fully wood cored ski with just a little bit of metal in the underfoot zone. They do use their flex cut in the middle here as well, just indenting that metal a little bit. But again, in the 116, that indent is a lot bigger, and that is emphasizing this ski's ability to have a more consistent flex. And when you're in softer snow and deep powder, that's a more playful way to go about building a ski. So they've definitely put their levels of thought and engineering into these Rangers. And the fun part is that each year that we talk about them, we kind of find a new thing that is a little bit different about a Ranger than it is about other skis. This is the 187, and we're on the scale here at 2,155 grams. Kind of on the medium side of the weight spectrum for a ski of this width. At this point, there's just a lot of mass and volume involved in the ski, so it makes sense that it's over 2,100 grams, especially at this length. But then what we really start to see is just this incredibly flexible and playful nature. That thinner core profile is specifically milled in order to make this ski have that level of flex and bounce and play to it. When you're in softer snow, that flexibility contours to the snow, and how much energy you put into it gets kind of related to the snow in that way. And in the case of the Ranger 116, delivers a very surfy and playful feel. If it were stiffer, it's going to be just riding through with more direction, as opposed to this, which is a lot more playful and allows for more input on behalf of the skier. From a shape perspective, we get a 20-meter turning radius here, which actually kind of short given the width. Most skis of this width have a little bit longer of a turn shape, and I find that you can make much shorter turns if you want because of that flex. So you're able to find and push into that side cut and create a shorter radius a little bit easier than you are able to let it run, because that flex is going to really want to keep the ski engaged and have the skier be more involved in the process. We still get some nice positive camber underfoot, actually pretty stiff camber there to go along with and a pretty dramatic rocker profile here. So the rocker starts well down into the ski, long and pretty dramatic rocker there. The taper of these is where we see a lot of modern influence and styling, really spoony shape, just kind of a big chunky mass of shovel here that's going to keep this thing afloat in a lot of deep snow. Tail rocker, yeah, pretty dramatic. You know, they kind of cut it off here. It's fun to kind of pretend if they kept it going around, this would look a lot more like a twin tip, like a big fat wide twin tip with more of a freestyle application. But just that cut there, opens it up to a little bit more of a directional appeal. But yeah, some, more dramatic rocker in the tail. It's not specifically long unless, even when you decamber the ski, that contact point is pretty close to the tail. So most of that rocker and flotation and taper, most of that drama comes from the shovel of the ski, from the front third. But really fun. Obviously a specific ski for deeper snow and more creative skiers. This is going to keep it out of the hands of intermediates and even some early advanced skiers who are looking for a powder ski. It's just a little bit difficult to actually get into that width and not have to put forth a lot of effort or have a lot of skills. It's just a different kind of mindset and skill set involved with a wider ski, especially if you're dealing with deeper snow, because it's not always that easy. It looks easy when really good skiers do it properly, but when you get out there, it can be a challenge. Certainly having the right tools on your feet is very helpful, but there's no substituting for a good skill set as well, especially in very deep snow. As such, it's pretty specific and unique. Not seeing a whole lot of people using this as their one and only ski. Obviously going to be part of a quiver and more reserved for deep snow and really fresh days. But yeah, that's it. Make sure to check out this Fischer Ranger 116 here at SkiEssentials.com, and we will see you out there on the hill. Bye.